Okay, so in this next tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to use the multi-cut tool, which will cut a polygonal line going across all the way around. And the reason why is that that line will help to give a visual cue when you paint in Photoshop to mark the, I guess you could say, texture boundaries. So let's see if you color, one part of the surface over here, one type of texture color or whatever, and at the lower part a different texture, then having a line going across will help a lot, because also that line going across is continuous, so that when you paint in Photoshop, you know where that line stops and ends each time. So visually that can be explained better by if I go say for example this one. So this one, here's the lines, but I didn't set it up perfectly. There was a lot of trial and error, but this time around, if I set the line up perfectly across, there's less trial and error. So before I placed it here and it was just too high. So then this time around, if I place it down here perfectly, it'll save a lot of headache. So that's the reason why. So each stack is one side of the wall. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And they all had to line up perfectly so that they don't cause any seams or jumping texture edges. Anyway, so that's that. So for the front, I'm gonna hit the space bar because I want to go to one of the orthographic views. For example, like the front, hit space bar again. From here, let me activate the multi-cut tool. Press and hold shift and press and hold right mouse button, and right here multi-cut tool, and then let go. This little small knife edge pops up. So hopefully your 3D cube will be about this thick. So I'm gonna guess right around here be good. So I'm gonna hold down shift and then hold down and click and hold down the left mouse button. I'm gonna go across because now it makes a straight line. There you go. Whatever you do, do not try to like move the vertices. If you do that, it will more or less mess up the UV maps. So once you're set, you're set. Do not manipulate the vertices again. Alright, so we did that. And the equivalent of that in the UV editor is here. Get over here. Right here, see? That way you know how far to texture for each part. Well, this is the thing, surface. Alright, so that's good. So that's done. Let me save this. Incremental save, which will be Control, Alt, also known as Option, and S for save. And you see it right there, .0001. Good. I'll let go of there. Now, what else do we need to do? I want to go back here and we're gonna set up something like what we call the multiple UV set. So in 3D software packages, when you lay out the UVs, it's 1-to-1. So UV is U, meaning going across. That's U, like X and Y coordinates, but it's U and V. U is going across. V as in Victor is going up. So for each model by default, each 3D model by default is given one plot of land. I guess the analogy or whatever would be called. One area to place the UV textures or UV map into. Anything outside of it doesn't count. It'll just repeat whatever texture's in here. So whatever texture's in here, blah 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 blah, is gonna repeat here, 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 all over. It won't have a new texture identity or new texture space at all. It's just gonna repeat. So this is what you're down to. That's your real estate space to texture paint on. And each time, so if you want to send this out to Photoshop, what needs to be done is where you need to do taking a snapshot. So this here, that's like a camera snapshot, UV snapshot. So it'll save out an image, which I should just at least show. So, and it saves to your images folder. I'm gonna save it test example. And let's see, and over here, this is the size that it will save out the you could say it will save out the canvas in this size. You see, pixels and pixels, X and Y. So I had set it to 4K, so that's a huge canvas. But you could have it low as 512 by 512. A lot of low resolution games are at that level. Then there's 1024 by 1024, and then it goes and doubles by every 512. So 4 times that of this, it would be 40. Would be 1024 times 4, 4096. That's a 4K image. So another rule too is really important to know is always have it perfect squared, meaning, you know, up and down, left to right, as in 1024 by 1024, 512 by 512, those increments. The computer Maya and game engines, they wanted that in those increments. If you make a difference, let's say, I don't know, 1,000 by, let's say you made 1,000 X, let's say going X is 1,000 and Y is a 1,500. If you were to accidentally do something like that, your texture is kind of ruined because it starts to skew and just weird stuff happens. Anyway, so always just keep it, you know, a perfect square. All right, next. All right, so I want my texture to be a large canvas. That way I have a lot of pixel density to work with, space-wise. I won't lose texture resolution. Just, you know, you have a lot of freedom when texture painting. So I'm gonna make it like 4096 by 4096. And so let me just, I'm not gonna do anything right now, but just to show that. But then you're only saved down to here, this area. And you have to wonder, what about these guys? So that's where having, let's say 2 UV tiles. So this is one UV tile, And then if you have another UV tile, that will make it 2 UV tiles, which would be great because I want my own little plot of land for these guys. But this is in the way. So what can we do? Well, the first thing you can do is I'm gonna, for example, this is a UV set editor where you can edit the UV sets. Right now we have one map 1, which is holding everything, but I want 2 maps, one map for this, another map for that. What I'm gonna do is pop open the UV set editor, okay, and remember how I got this window is over here, and then yeah, so again, so here, pop that open, there's that, and then from there get this, which this will pop open, the UV set editor. Alright, right now it's not showing the first one. Wait, let me hold on. I need to grab the model first. Right click, object mode, select it. Good. See, now you can see it. That's what I want to show. Map 1 for this guy. But like I said before, I want to have 2. So I'm going to go new. It made a new UV set. Don't mind that. This new UV set, I'm going to rename it. Let's rename it cube underscore side walls UV. Okay. This one, the original one, which has everything, I'm gonna rename it cube top surface UV, because this one I only wanted to hold this, and this one I want to hold the side walls anyway. And then I guess update and close. Next, from here I'm gonna go and what I'm gonna do is, first I need to grab all of this. Okay, make sure you grab all of it. Hit R as in Robert to scale. I'm gonna uniformly scale everything because UVs, they rely on, I guess, proper scaling, so that if I'm gonna scale parts of the shell, only parts of the shell, that's not good. You want to scale it evenly with everything. That way the texture size is going to be evenly distributed. So I'm going to shrink it down to around here, so you have around this much space. And I'm going to do this, so you have around space here, something like that. For these guys, I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna place it right around here just for now. Grab these, place it down, grab these, place it down. Make sure that they do not overlap. Do not overlap. And I'm gonna squeeze this down. Alright, so now I'm evenly spaced. Next, now I'm gonna do the placing the UV sets. Alright, so right now I have the first one selected, the original default one, which is renamed now. And here's the second one, which has nothing inside. Ignore this. This is just the 3D world. This is not the UV. So click that, everything pops up. Click this, nothing shows. Make sure that you label it. The top one, top surface is for the top surface, this. The side walls is this. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is right click UV. Again, right click UV. Select those UVs. They're in green. I'm going to go copy UVs to curb side walls UV. So, but this disappeared. Well, that's because I have the original with this guy still here, and then this one with this here. This is the copy, which was copied into here, and here's the original. But now I do not need this anymore because I made a copy of it and I sent it to its own UV set. So I'm going to delete that. And this one is here. But now I want to grab this. I'm going to put it here where it's 1-to-1 in the default space. Let me put it right around here. Make sure you do that. If you don't set this up right, everything's going to get screwed. So first one, second one. And they are proportionally matching. And when you remember when I said scale it, when you scale it evenly with everything. Alright. So you got one and that. Let me just save it. So now you have two UV sets. This first one, I can go all out and make it a 4K snapshot, meaning like a huge, canvas to paint on. And the second one, I can also make a snapshot and save it as a 4K canvas to paint in Photoshop. Alright, so first one, second one. Next, what do? Alright, now we do our UV snapshots to save out, I guess, the canvas for the UVs. Let's do the first one. Cube top surface UV, this guy. Alright. What we can do is go to here. Yeah. This is the snapshot. And I'm gonna make it 4K. And then I'm going to name it MicroWorld Cube Top Surface UV. It really is helpful when you just give a good detailed description. Oh, let me reset this. Alright, good. Let me write that in. MicroWorld Cube Top Surface underscore UV. Alright. And then 1-to-1. We're gonna hit. Oh, I want to make this 4K. And then apply and close. Ooh, what just happened? Okay, I have to select it as a polygon object. So here's the 3D world. Right click, object mode. Now it's object mode. It's in green. Go back here. Now apply and close. Now I did it. So that is a step. And just to quickly review, when you do the snapshot, you name it, and then it will by default be saved into images, your images folder in your Maya project hierarchy. Set the size, make sure to do that. These are all checked on, leave it alone. Make sure that's clicked on. And then you hit apply and close, and it did it. Next, for the next one. Now with the UV set again, which is pretend if you lost it over here. Oh, not that one. This one right here. Cube side walls. And now it changes. Make sure I'm selected the object mode. Do the snapshot. It's gonna be saved under images. I'm gonna just rename it to side walls UV. Same size for 4K. Hit apply and close, and it did it. Close. Now if I go into Photoshop, in Photoshop I'm going to open, and it's saved in images. Here it is, this one and this one. It really helps when you name it out. And then hit enter and pop here and here. It saves it as a .iff. I'm gonna add a new layer. Control Shift N, and I'm gonna hit G as in George and cover it and put it underneath it. Now you can see it. I'm gonna just copy, Control C, Control V, paste it down. And here's the other one, the sidewalls. So now you can paint. Not only that, but it's huge. So let's say image, canvas size, 4K. So you can just go to town on this and not have to worry about your textures getting blurry, or when you shrink, texture images down, it'll still maintain the texture quality and stuff like that. Alright, so that's what, 22 minutes. So that'll be it for this tutorial. Now come in for the next one after.